So as we know, we've basically reached a point where there's a generation of women that are more unhappy, more entitled, and more narcissistic than ever before. Not all women, but a lot of them. Enough to be a big, big problem. Thanks, feminism. So today I've got an article for you. Sex for Babies offer. Women desperate to get pregnant offering to sleep with sperm donors. What is it? Oh, that's the sound of alarm bells, which is exactly what rang in my head at the moment I saw this article. By the way, thank you to MGTOW 101 for sending me this article. This is gun. All right. Women are turning to sperm donor websites where men offer natural insemination, aka blue pill beta males that can't get laid any other way. Well, there may be some guys that can get laid another way, but they're really fucking dumb if they're gonna fall for this shit. Helen Croydon went undercover to find out more. Let's have a look at this, shall we? All right. Cheating in a restaurant by candlelight. You would be forgiven for thinking, and real names not used here, Sarah and Carl were on a date. In reality, there was anything but romance on the cards. Sarah, 42, met Carl, 35, through a website called co-parents.net, one of a host of news sites advertising sperm donors. Traditionally, sperm donor sites link single women, lesbian or infertile couples with men willing to donate samples through artificial insemination. But rising numbers of women are now using donor sites to arrange to have sex with strangers because it is assumed that intercourse increases their chance of conception, yet they risk STDs and other health and psychological threats by doing so. Sarah is one of these women. After dinner with Carl, she took him home for sex with the one and only intention of conceiving a child. I've been using these donor sites for 2 years, says Sarah. So she's been getting cream pied bareback by random dudes for 2 years, from the age of 40 to 42, trying to have a kid. If that isn't some fucked up shit, I don't know what is. I'm not wasting any time chasing a relationship when I could be trying for a baby, she said. She doesn't want to pick up a man in a bar and have a one-night stand either. I want to choose the characteristics that may get passed to my child, she says. If anything is wrong with my baby health-wise, I can go back and ask the donor for their genetic history. But otherwise there will be no more contact with him. My child will never know him. Hang on. If anything's wrong with my baby health-wise, I can go back and ask the donor for their genetic history. Oh, and child support and other shit and costs for medical expenses for the child, right? All of those other things that come along with having a baby with a woman that doesn't involve going through a fertility clinic. But even then, there's a risk that you might get screwed over. I did a video on that a while back. There was a lady who helped another woman swap the sperm at the fertility clinic from the sperm of her husband to the sperm of her boyfriend. And you guys may have remembered the other video I did with the lesbian couple that had a male sperm donor because they wanted to have a child together. And then they started chasing him for child support down the track. The fact that she says she can always go back to him and ask about the history later on, does that not tell you that she can ask for other things? She's got his phone number, she's got his name, she knows who the dude is. But she's gonna deny the child access to it. She's gonna enable access to it to herself. Yeah, bit of a stumble there. But she's gonna enable herself access to his wallet at her whim. I'll continue. Yet before sleeping with Carl, she only knew the basic details. That he was single, had 2 children from a previous relationship, and wanted more without having any responsibility for them. Carl sounds like he likes to live on the edge. Oh, here we fucking go. Check this out. She was pleased when he told her he was healthy and had a master's degree. Because having a master's degree apparently makes you genetically more suitable to have a child with. Wow. But had no way of proving it. Any of it, of course. Before meeting Carl, she tried artificial insemination, known as AI, twice. She didn't get pregnant that way, but when she found Carl on a website for AI, and after chatting to him, he offered to sleep with her. She felt having sex with him would boost her chances of conceiving and decided to go down the natural insemination, or NI, route. Their meal, she says, feels like a date with sex guaranteed. Carl said I could change my mind, but I didn't want to, as I was ovulating. Neither of us drank because alcohol can interfere with fertility, so I was thinking straight. No, you weren't thinking straight because you were ovulating. Women never think straight when it comes to fertility when they're ovulating, because all they can think about is getting pregnant. The pair went back to her house, which she says was awkward. I stood in the kitchen and offered a drink, but we both knew why we were there. It felt staged and undressing was very unsexy. And you're surprised about this? Really? You literally farmed this guy specifically to be impregnated. Never to see him again unless you want money or medical history, of course. Probably money. And you somehow you're surprised that it's awkward? Are you that dumb? Well, yeah, you are actually. We used the spare room because it felt less personal, although we laid and cuddled afterwards. I shed a tear then, because I was moved by the prospect of conceiving. Half an hour later, Carl had a shower and promptly left. She says, I felt like a man must feel when a prostitute leaves. The next day he visited again and it was easier. I even made him dinner, but I never asked his surname. To her delight, she did get pregnant, but sadly miscarried after 12 weeks. I can't say I'm surprised that, say I'm surprised she miscarried after 12 weeks at the age of 42. But Sarah says she'll continue to use the sites, aka continue to get cream pied by random dudes, as long as they've got a master's degree, because that apparently makes you intelligent and great breeding DNA. Sarah says she'll continue to use the sites until she gets pregnant again, just like scores of other women who are racking up STDs and notches on their bedpost. I'm looking for an NI donor for next week, the 14th day of my cycle, writes one woman on another site, her name and photo clearly visible to all. Donor posts on the site are equally direct. Healthy, disease-free, 6 foot 2 inch, blonde, blue-eyed, 32-year-old, blue pill cuck professional. You can guess which words I added in there. Can help with natural insemination only. No artificial insemination requests, reads another. But while women are prepared to take such risks to have a baby, who are the men offering to be donors? And why aren't they concerned with the risks of unprotected sex with strangers for future claims for child maintenance? So they're saying, why aren't these guys concerned about STDs? Why are they being so careless? No mention of the bitches that are getting cream pied by like 20, 30, 40 dudes bareback to have a freaking kid. Oh man, the double standards are ridiculous. Crazy shit. To find out more, I set up a fake profile on 3 sites, claiming to be a 37-year-old single woman with a ticking biological clock. It read, looking for a sensitive donor. I've tried AI unsuccessfully, so now I'm taking the plunge with NI. Within just 24 hours, I have received 12 replies. from incels. The first is from... I added that last little bit, but it's probably true. The first is from a donor in Amsterdam willing to fly over if I foot the bill. Oh, I don't want to have to pay to foot the bill, so I'll just find someone local that'll come to me and pay for everything first. The second is a 29-year-old from Cardiff who sends me a photo of a smiling baby boy, the result, so he claims, of a previous donation. 2 successes so far. Oh, hang on. This is the dude writing. 2 successes so far, 1 AI and 1 NI. All I ask is for regular updates and pictures. We'll provide sperm for siblings should you want it, he writes. Some donors have touching reasons for donating, such as the one desperate to father a child after his wife couldn't conceive following cancer. I guess I can understand that. Although it's still a huge freaking risk. Gary, again, name redacted. This is a fake name for privacy purposes. Gary, a would-be donor I arranged to meet, claims he was motivated to donate after speaking to a childless female friend. Definitely a feminist, because they seem to be the only ones that end up childless these days, 90% of the time. I wanted to help other women, he tells me, yet he's adamant he'll only donate through having sex. Nature intended us to reproduce with intercourse, he insists. During your fertile period, it's best if we do it a few times so your body gets used to my sperm. He even suggests I wear a dress and nice underwear, which he claims will increase his sperm count. When he tries to avoid an initial coffee, pushing instead to meet in a hotel, I cancel for my own safety. Weeks later, I met, again, name change for privacy, Sean, a 41-year-old from reading in a cafe. I found him on a private Facebook group, Free Sperm Donors. Single with 2 children from a previous relationship, he warns he's a donor and nothing else. I'm sorry, Sean, but you don't really get a choice in the matter, buddy, because the moment she decides that she wants to be that guy, that's what's going to happen. My concern is you get pregnant and that you and the baby are okay. That's as far as my involvement goes, he says. If I can produce enough kids, knowing they're out there is enough. He's already fathered 2 children through NI. The first was with a single 40-year-old up north, he says. We did it several times to maximize chances. I also helped a lesbian couple in Essex. Wait, is that the dude that was paying child support to that lesbian couple? Probably. They were not comfortable with NI. No. Maybe. They were not comfortable with NI, and we only did it once. Unfortunately, she didn't conceive. Well, I'd argue that it's fortunate. The third time, I helped a married couple in their 40s. He'd had a vasectomy. I stayed in their spare room. It was a bit weird. The husband accused me of getting too close to her, so I left after 5 days. But she got pregnant, and they now have a healthy boy. According to fertility watchdog, the Human Fertilization and Embryology Authority, success rates for AI are between 5 and 15%, depending on a woman's age. So it's not surprising women assume having sex will help their chances. But it's a dangerous game. Man, how accurate that is. It is a dangerous game. Sperm donor websites and forums are unregulated by the HFEA because all communication is considered to be private between 2 adults. I was untraceable on the sites, using a fake name, temporary email address, and pay-as-you-go phone. All the men offered to provide copies of STD checks, but none of them asked if I had been tested. With HFEA government-governed fertility clinics, the donors are screened for sexual diseases as well as serious hereditary conditions. The clinics protect male donors too regarding their identity, which is kept secret until any resulting child hits the age of 18. But after that, they can find out. So even if these men don't want to ever know the child, then they still may not have a choice. But registered sperm banks charge £2,000 for a cycle of AI. On unregulated websites and forums, men donate for free or charge nominal expenses of £50. Zeta West of Zeta West Clinics. Zeta is actually the name of a lady in her early 40s who, when I was an Uber driver, leaned through from that back seat and kissed me as she was getting out of the car, then gave me her phone number and then wanted me to bang her later. But that's another story. A site regulated by the HFEA warns, when a woman's desperate for a baby and can't afford a clinic, she's vulnerable. She may be panicking about her biological clock ticking and might then risk meeting one of these men. But she won't know anything about his genetic background or if he's been screened for HIV. These sites should be regulated. While many male donors seem genuine, others are clearly looking for easy sex, indicated by messages like this on tadpoleTown.com. Willing to help any lady in Southwest with NI. Would help if she had double D breasts. My man. However, the man behind the Facebook group's Free Sperm Donors, who uses the pseudonym Joe Donor, denies men use donation as a route to sex. There wouldn't be much return on your efforts, he said. You spend a lot of time talking to women, planning around ovulation, and may have sex just once. He is married with 3 legitimate children, but admits his family are unaware he's fathered 20 babies through AI and NI. Oh, they'll be aware when they start seeing the child support coming out of the bank accounts. I wanted more children, but that wasn't possible in my marriage, he says, presumably because maybe she's 42 or older and she can't conceive anymore. Maybe even just 35 or older, who knows? It just depends on the woman's fertility, depends on the wife's fertility. After donating once, I thought it was what a wonderful thing it was to create life, so I started the group as a non-profit venture. His group will thrive as long as women like Sarah continue to use NI. Ideally, I'd find a co-parent or at least someone willing to put their name on the birth certificate, she says. Sorry, I just did the dude's voice for a chick because it was right after what the dude was saying. But yeah, so obviously she wants to put the male name on the birth certificate because when she wants some cash, then she can come after them for child support. See where this is going here? But I know it's unlikely, she says. Risks of natural insemination. Psychologist Linda Blair says, the world is changing, but one thing about human nature that hasn't changed is that we develop different feelings about relationship as time goes on. A woman must never rush into this. She may think nothing more about creating a child in this way, but that's likely to change. Gee, you think? And what might start off as no strings attached could change when the child grows up and asks about their father. So men should consider the legal obligations. Damn right you should consider the legal obligations. Damn right you should. But most important is the child's well-being if he or she might feel angry or even hopeless when they find out how they were conceived. What? A child getting upset that their mum just went out and found some random dude to fuck so she could have a kid and not give a father to that child? I can't understand why a child might be upset about that, you know, never knowing their father and all because the mother was selfish. Before creating a new life, both parents should consider their own feelings, but mostly the child's. That I agree with. That I agree with. 100%. Totally. And, you know, it's funny, right? Because you guys are actually letting me know that I got a hell of a lot of dislikes here. And, you know, I'm just going to jump over on this other phone to my channel because I want to see how many dislikes I've got in this video because I can't see that in YouTube Live. I can only see how many likes I have. Where are we here? Let's check this out. Let's check out how many butthurt bitches are upset about me calling out women who are desperate for a baby. Let's duck over here, shall we? Wow! 50 thumbs down to 51 thumbs up. Guys, there's 143 of you in the box. Smash that thumbs up right now. I am hurting women's feelings right now, and they're telling me loud and clear. So you guys need to show the women's how much you enjoyed this video by smashing that thumbs up and sharing this with all of your friends that will get a kick out of this video. Let's get this video on every MGTOW site. Let's get this video on all the blokes' advice. Let's get it on every men's space so we can get a shitload of thumbs up, a shitload of engagement, and get the word out to guys that women who just want a kid also want your name on the birth certificate. And if your name's on the birth certificate, you know what that means. See this thing here? See this thing here? I am a MGTOW. I am a man guarding my own wallet. Or we are men guarding their own wallets. Because, see this wallet, right? See this money? See this money here? If you have a child with someone and they put your name on the birth certificate, you can say goodbye to all of that. Just go, goodbye money. Hello empty wallet. That's what's gonna happen to you guys. That's what's gonna fucking happen. So protect yourself, brothers. By the way, very, very good to see my boy EMAN67. That's EMAN67. Love your work, man. Very candid, very raw, just handheld phone talking about stuff, but you're on the money all the time. So go and check out EMAN67 if you haven't already. He's a great guy. Appreciate you, Eman. And also, I wanted to say a massive, massive thank you. First of all, to my boy Riff Magos, who generously donated $5 to Sydney's anti-simp fund. Appreciate you, Riff Magos. And we also got Infinite Mainstream, who donated $5 as well. And it looks like there may be yet one more donation. Here we go. Lightning Shadows with the 2 shekels. I appreciate you, brother. All right, guys. Oh, and Master Dominus with $10. Wow. Thank you very much, Master Dominus. I appreciate you guys. Anyway, guys, please share this video with everyone you know. Let's get the thumbs up pouring in on this video. Let's see how many upset whammons we've got now, because these dislikes seem to be rolling in pretty quick. Let's see how many dislikes we got from the whammons now. We got 58 dislikes from the whammons. Guys, keep smashing that thumbs up. Share this video. Comment on the live stream, and also after this has been posted, when the live stream's finished. And if you want to donate, guys, paypal.me/Sydney MGTOW. Looking forward to seeing you guys soon. And appreciate you all for joining in. Stay safe out there, brothers. Peace.